Next up, we have Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev. Burns coming in as a plus 380 underdog against Chimaev, a negative 500 favorite. I cannot wait to see this fight. It's been a while. I feel like since we've seen Chimaev fight, this is the guy with all the hype behind him. Burns has already taken a shot at the title. Chimaev is the one guy I feel like everybody thinks has a chance for that title fight to beat Usman. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm just going to come out and say right off the top here, I'm rooting for Chimaev because I do want to see him get into the ring with Usman. I feel like he's the biggest threat to Usman at this point in the division. What are your thoughts?
He is a big guy. I've been watching the videos of him and Darren Till walking around, training, hanging out, and he is just massive. I think he has the height, the reach, and he's fearless. Like, he has no reason to not, to fear anyone right now. He's just walked through everyone, picks them up, manhandles them, grapples them, is constantly doing like wrestling tournaments, grappling tournaments to kind of hone his skills. I definitely would like to see him challenge for the belt. Burns, he's had his chance. He clearly rocked Usman in their fight immediately. But then it faded. So I want to see somebody who has something different, a different kind of threat to pose to Usman, and the height, the size, the physicality, the attitude, the mentality. I don't think they call him the Wolf for no reason. Like, he is just a beast in there. He's looking to eat people up, and he's whatever, I don't remember his ethnicity, but he is their version of Mystic Mac. He is predicting things. I'm going to go out there and dominate. I'm going to go out there and walk through this guy and just manhandle them, and then he does very easily. So
yeah, and Gilbert's coming off a win against Stephen Thompson, which was quite impressive. I don't know if you remember that fight, but Burns' wrestling, it seems like it's improved since his fight with Usman, and it just seems better than what I've seen in previous fights. And that's essentially how he ended up winning that fight against Stephen Thompson, was just the wrestling, being able to keep Thompson down, which is incredibly difficult to do. Even though Thompson's a stand-up fighter, you got to know when you're a stand-up fighter that, all you probably are drilling in the practice room is how to escape the takedown. Once you get taken out, how to get back up. And Thompson's a veteran, and he was able to just hold him down, ground and pound. And it's going to be interesting if Burns is at the top of his game in terms of his wrestling is peaking, and he's going to go against a guy like Chimaev, whose wrestling seems like nobody's been able to do anything to stop this guy. I mean, he just imposes his will. Chimaev's last 3 fights, he's won in the first round. He's had 4 fights in the UFC so far. His first fight, he ended up getting the sub in the second round. But then that was followed up by 2 KOs, and his last fight was submission against Jing Lang. So, I don't know. What do you think Gilbert Burns' strategy should be going into this? Do you think he has a better chance in the stand-up, or do you think he has a better chance on the ground in the grappling?
I think grappling-wise, because Khamzat has a great, I would say, like, wrestling, whereas Gilbert has more grappling. Khamzat hasn't needed his wrestling for anything but to dominate. You haven't seen anyone threaten him with submissions, with any of those fundamental things. He's just walking through and punching through them. And he's got the height and the reach. I think keeping it standing up, even though Burns was able to have, some success against Thompson, against Usman, the reach and the size, Khamzat is 6'2", and Burns is 5'10". That doesn't seem like much, but then you factor in the arm reach, the leg reach, all these things, and he needs to get in close to have a chance. I don't know. I hope the grappling is there, the wrestling is there, and I think that, his preparation against Thompson, who is known for his striking, his versatility, all those, flashy attacks, helped him get ready for somebody who is going to punch at him, with bad intentions, and getting in close and trying to nullify that and negate that. And hopefully, he definitely implemented that amazingly well against Thompson. So hopefully that was just a setup for what he's going to do this next fight. It's hard to think that he'll make it work and it'll happen. It's like the last fight when we talked about, was it Dawkins and Blades? You're like, can he land that uppercut? Like, will he? No.
That fight with Curtis Blades was a complete surprise. I don't think anybody expected Blades to keep it on the feet and end up getting the knockout. But I think it was partly the threat of the takedown is probably what gave him the chance in that one. But yeah, I feel like this is similar. There's maybe only one or two things that Burns can do that's going to give him a chance. I don't know what those are exactly, but hopefully he's worked it out with his team and he's going to go in there and try to execute that strategy. Hopefully for his sake, I'm actually rooting for Chimaev on this one. It doesn't seem like it's a very good bet. You're not going to be able to make very much money when someone's got negative 500 next to their name, but maybe you can get a prop bet, on method of victory or something that might give you some better odds or something like that if you're looking to bet. But yeah, I can't wait to see this fight.